Here's the thing. What does the Bristol Turnpike Trust in England have to do with property prices in the US? Roads. It's all about roads. But there is a particular innovation that changed everything. This is part 2 of my series on the unintended consequences of small ideas that change the world. The first roads, not much more than stone paving, were built not long after the wheel itself. But it was the Romans in about 300 BCE who pioneered the use of a foundation of crushed stone and layers of rectangular paving stones. So good was this design that thousands of years later, some of these roads are still in use. But it was the designs of Scottish engineer John Loudon McAdam that made modern road construction possible. From 1787, McAdam experimented with road design and in 1816 became Surveyor General of Roads for the Bristol Turnpike Trust. I'm getting to the point, I promise. Here, he put his ideas into action, showing that his roads were cheaper, easier to build, while also more durable. Before I get to the unintended consequences, bear with me for a moment. As his road design principles and standards are still in use today, I should quickly explain what a bitumen macadam road is. Macadam road? McAdam? Get it? Sorry. Very simply, and I'm sorry for any engineers watching, there are 3 key elements. First, macadam roads have a slightly arched shape or shallow camber to allow for water drainage. Second, there is a road crust to prevent erosion of underlying soil, removing the need for extremely expensive foundations of rock as the earlier Roman roads used. Last, the road itself is made from compacted and layered stone, the lower layer consisting of coarse mineral aggregates, such as gravel, about 7.5 centimeters in diameter, while the surface layer consists of much smaller stones, about 2 centimeters in diameter. The use of bitumen, aka asphalt or tar, as a binding agent emerged in the following century as dust from the newly invented automobile became a problem. This is also, by the way, the origin of the word tarmac, tar-bound macadam roads. Macadam's road designs were cheaper and simpler to build. The roads themselves were smoother for drivers, which reduced wear and tear on vehicles, more skid resistant, and provided a sharp contrast for line markings. And they were much more durable, which made them much cheaper to maintain. But here's where the unintended consequences start to emerge. Because roads became significantly cheaper to build and maintain, there was a global surge in road construction in both cities and rural areas. With this new network of roads, pre-automobile mind you, massive social changes started to occur. Trade is the obvious one. As the road network grew, so did trade and travel, with substantially increased mobility of people and goods between cities. But the butterfly effect from this was the emergence of new industries and specialized cities. Cities could buy materials and components from 6 different cities. And because the roads were reliable, companies could purchase materials just in time, further reducing costs. As roads connected townships, it became easy to live in one town and work in another. And so more people moved into the areas surrounding cities, which led to more roads, which led to more people, and so on. From there, we start to get the first of the mega cities, as townships merged into city borders, which is where we get the connection between the Bristol Turnpike Trust in 1816 and US property prices in 2024. As people became more mobile and moved into suburban areas, property values increased significantly. Inversely, until the mid-20th century, inner city values actually decreased as people moved away. But here's the thing. Not every consequence is positive. Macadam's design enabled the suburbanization of cities, but as peoples moved further from urban centers and their places of work, more roads needed to be built to support them. And more roads mean more cars. More cars mean greater impact on the environment. So from mega cities to global trade to the environment, an 18th century Scottish engineer has literally changed the face of the planet.